Who wants to do a recap for inspiration you might need? Maybe.
How am I doing on inspiration? No, I'm okay.
You are the bank usually, so
No, that's Adam.
true. Nobody wants to do it?
We learned about guns.
Export
did.
this.
We learned about guns, and we determined that there was no time like the present to
Uh-huh.
invade a warehouse and go absolutely massacre the residents inside.
Yeah. 19 for the record.
There's more coming.
At least 2.
That's a lot of gold.
Yeah. Yeah, you had some plot, but mostly it was a well, I guess during the middle of the day and right now, huh? Which
Yeah.
kind of worked out. I don't think anybody was expecting you to go in the middle of the day.
Yeah. People, you know what? People think that just because it's the daytime and there are
Yeah.
people around that no one's going to be invading.
Yeah, you let your guard down.
Yeah, and at night they put up guards.
Uh-huh.
The
Daytime
regular people
crimes.
aren't there, but like there are guards.
This is your
You know what's
secret
weaker
pitch.
than guards?
This is your pitch for daytime crimes. We should all do our crimes in the daytime.
Yeah.
Nobody nobody can see.
Will know.
Hide in plain sight. Okay, take that was close enough. Take an inspiration, Beacon.
Thanks. I'm gonna need it.
All right. Yeah, we ended the last time with Red saying essentially, well, I guess we're gonna do this. The new guy broke their way out, and now everybody roll initiative. Damn, it is wild how all of the rolls aggregated right on top of each other. That's fucking crazy. Look at this shit. Okay. It looks like you are up first, Sadicus. This hulking monstrosity has burst its way forth. Red seems to be settling in for some kind of combat pose.
Sadicus just looks at who's ever standing next to him. Beacon. Well, back to work. 5, 10. We can move through the tentacle, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I will stay next to the tentacle because that. Well, there's words I never thought I'd say.
There's one.
And I will whip at Big Man from here.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be real sad looking. Yep, that's only a 14 to hit anyway.
That will hit.
Oh, wait, I don't get sneak attack because I got nobody next to him. So that is 10 damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
you
I will
whip out, catch a bit of his arm as it like seems to almost like razor wire across it for a second.
As bonus action, I will give Beacon the help action against this same target.
Okay.
Cut his arm, cut it off. Or whatever you do. You know your work. That's it.
Beacon. It is roaring as it like rears back, and you see like bits of astral steam seem to start like geysering in the place of blood out of its arm.
Cool. 1 second. That dinner just got out of the oven. Ow, ow, ow.
No problem. It's a casual combat, laid back.
It's just a nice,
Yeah, it's-
easy-going boss battle.
It's just
That's
a
all.
vibes boss battle.
Yeah, okay, alright. I got 35 feet of movement on my real body. Just going to sprint over and jump over Zadicus. And then get to here with the Echo. I'm so sorry, we're polearm monsters, Ted. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's fine.
Let's see. I'm going to attack this guy at advantage once. Oh, let's try the Great Weapon Master, huh?
Oh,
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah,
Get it.
yeah.
Get it.
Huh?
Yeah,
I help.
That's it.
I'll do.
All right. That's all right.
Yeah, advantage was nice.
Oh.
Yeah, you gash like its arm even further, causing more astral steam to like spray out as it sort of reels back and screams.
All right. And the Echo is going to attack Red. Let's see what happens. 13.
That will miss.
Yeah, okay. Unchecking those boxes. You got it.
Look, it worked really good that one time. That did a not insignificant amount of damage to him. He does not look fucking happy.
All right. That's it. That's it for me. That's it for me.
Okay. It steps forward and like raises up that hurt arm. And you see one of the tanks on its back whines for a second as it just raises its hand and just basically sidearm palms it towards you. I don't. 16?
A 16 hits.
Yeah. I was about to say it's right on the fucking line. I had to remember.
Yeah.
Okay. For 11 force damage. Give me a strength saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It sidearms, and as it does, there's sort of a pulse out of its fist as it hits you in basically an open-handed, like, more of like a push. And you dig your feet in and manage to catch the glaive as it tries to scrape you back a second, and then like realize like, oh right, it was definitely trying to send you back, or maybe just the force of the smack. You're not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you take, yeah.
Joke's on him. I don't want to be close to him.
I already told you the damage, right?
11. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Ducks.
Alright, Dux is gonna get, let's see, 30 feet movement. You can get there. Oh, I have 35 feet movement. I'm gonna get right here.
Now I know why I have 35 feet of movement. Why do you have 35 feet of movement?
I think Leonin just have 35 feet of movement.
I think so.
I love that for us. Between the two of us, that's like 40 feet of like ultimate reach from one point to another.
It's
That's
great.
And I will. I'm not concentrating on anything.
Mm-mm.
Don't have any first level slots left. Whew. Let's see. I'm gonna do a thunderous smite on Red over here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll cast a second level thunderous smite. And Halberd attack.
Oof.
Oh, why am I so scrolled up? Okay, second attack. Oh man.
Yeah. You swing wide. He kind of adopts like a boxer stance, and as you swing the halberd across, he just dips underneath it.
All right, well, that's it for my turn.
Sev. this fucker, if you'll recall.
In fact, do. 1 second. Let me finish my tip. Alright. So, Sev is going to walk over here and point her crossbow at Red. And she's gonna, like, the little Gatling chamber spins up in 3 bolts.
Oof.
Fuck me.
Yeah, you catch him off guard with the first one as it sort of plinks into his shoulder, and his eyes turn with that like flash of yellow, and he easily just knocks the other two out of the air. Also, you are slightly quiet, June.
Sorry.
A wee bit.
I'll go ahead and... Oop, sorry. Measure how far that was. I'll use 10 feet to approach.
Okay.
That's turn.
Cool. Constance.
All right. The first thing I'd like to do is assess how the rest of my party's looking.
Perfectly
Yeah,
fine.
Dux is by far the most hurt.
Okay.
Less than half.
Okay. In that case, so Dux is hurt. I know, since I just saw Beacon get hit. Is anybody else hurt?
Hold on, I'm trying to make it so you can see all health.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. Can you see them now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was like, I'll do that later, and then I realized, oh no, I know what the fix to this is. So yeah, you see
Okay.
Beacon took a pretty good shot. Dux, for sure, has taken the most punishment from the previous fight, mostly.
Right. All right. I am going to cast Aid on Dux and Beacon and Sev.
Cool.
I'm going to sort of roll down here, and if you could move my tentacle over to here, I will.
Yeah. I'll
Take
move
a
it to
shot.
here.
Mhm.
It's basically now like sideways branching out of the wall.
Excellent.
Mhm.
I'll take a shot at the new guy with it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It whips out, and as it like phases through, what kind of damage is that actually? I think about it.
That's a real good question. Let's find out. 1d8 cold damage.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it passes basically like through where its helmet is, and you see frost form on each side as it kind of like phases through. And it again like throws its head back and puts one of its arms up to like clutch at its head as you see it rapidly start to thaw again.
Very nice. And I don't think it'll make any difference, but its movement is reduced by 10 feet for the round, and that is Constance's turn.
Cool. All right. At the first thing you see, Sev, looks pretty familiar, which is some part of like his arms sort of steam for a second, and then a field appears around him. It's not quite as elegant as yours. It looks a lot more, for lack of a better word, janky and a little bit like wonkier. It's not as smooth or as contiguous. It's kind of flickering a little bit. He is gonna take 2 punches at Dux. Try to give Dux the old 1-2. That'll miss. I still think that'll miss. Oh no, never mind. Actually, it might. 19. What are you at currently, Dux?
I think. Let me double check, because my thing says 21, but I think that's wrong.
Yeah, I see
I'm
that.
pretty sure it's 19.
Is it 19?
I've got chainmail.
Oh, that was
so
from
AC
the
16.
Shield of Faith, right?
Then
think-
how did it get all the way up to 21? That's insane. It should have only been my AC 16.
Okay, so it was at 18, I think, for a bit in the last
I have a
fight.
shield. I don't have a shield because I've got a two-handed weapon.
Weird.
I've only got chainmail on, and that's AC 16.
I wonder if it like double counted some armor or something. Something weird.
Maybe so. But yeah, 16 is the
Okay.
AC.
Yep. So one of these punches misses by a wide margin. The other one will catch you square. 4.
Oh, I see. I think I know what happened. I think the red is health, but I'm used to green being health.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
I've changed it that away.
Sorry
Accidentally.
about that.
Oh,
Okay.
not 253. Oh shit. So how much damage did I take?
11 thunder damage. And that is his turn. Zadicus.
I know this will come as a shock. I'm gonna
Mhm.
whip the big guy.
I lose concentration on my smite.
Oh. That sucks. Yep. That'll hit.
Do get sneak attack. Thank you both. For 20 points of damage.
Pretty good. Yeah, you you basically snake it right around that same spot in his arm and then just torque it. And his arm is actually looking more and more like it's going to fall off.
30. I'm going to move to there, and then as a bonus action, I will give Dux advantage against red.
Okay.
That's it.
Beacon.
Just gonna do exactly what it was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I wonder, was it made apparent how long the new guy's reach is by the fact that he came up to me?
Yeah, you're pretty sure it's probably he definitely took a step up to catch you with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
So you
I'm
think he's
going
correct.
to take that op attack.
Okay. He'll throw a swing. Oh. All right. That will hit. 22.
Okay.
4, 6. For
Okay.
6 force damage.
All right, great. And then I'll hit him once and then red once. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
That's not right. Okay. 13 to hit.
Yeah, that will hit the new guy.
Okay, not the extra 10, just the 9.
Mhm.
And then red. Oh man.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I mean that definitely hits.
Yeah.
You rake a big line through his whatever shimmering field he has on.
The two of them, the body first, hurls the blade through, and passes over, like, the new guy, and then
Mhm.
into Red, and then is caught by the Echo. That is my turn.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Let me make sure I get. All right. The new guy, like, seeing you move back, just turns its head down to Dux.
You don't look so tough.
Yeah, it swings at you, and the swing goes wide. It looks like you could see that, like, the tanks on its back are starting to read, like, the pressure going into the red, as it starts to get even more kind of like grotesque and like seems to sort of swell as it turns to look down at you, Dux, and it throws a hand and you just effortlessly kind of like slide under it. And that is its turn. Makes it your turn, Dux.
All right. I'm going to swing at Red again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
God.
There it is. Okay, and I'm gonna second
Yeah.
level Divine Smite
You,
on
you
that.
should have had advantage on that first attack. I gave you the help.
Yes.
Okay, so that's just one
Yep.
attack then.
Cool.
Okay, so
So it's 10.
I do want a Divine Smite on that.
Uh-huh.
So extra 18 damage.
Oh, fuck.
Holy shit.
Oh,
And
fuck.
then
Yeah, with a
second
boom.
attack 18.
Is the second one at advantage as
No,
well, or
it's
just
just the
the
first
first?
one.
Oh no, it's not.
Okay.
Oops.
Fuck, 18. Jesus.
So yeah, that's 18 damage plus the physical attack.
Uh-huh.
And I'm out of spell slots, but I don't need a spell slot to Misty Step.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to I don't want to get I'm not trying to run away, but I am just trying to get out of immediate like harm. So
Yep.
Misty Step there.
Yeah, that divine smite, that like seems to have like rocked him for a second as he kind of stumbles sideways into the wall. Fucking 18. Okay.
Oh shit, I have lay on hands. I'm a paladin.
You sure do, yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah. You got what, 5
Paladin.
times your level or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, 25 of them bad
Yeah.
boys.
Okay, Sev. Red, like, looking kind of, they're both looking kind of shook actually, but Red took a huge fucking ding there.
Yeah, Red's gonna go ahead and run up to him, just laughing hysterically, like, oh my god! Do you even know how to align the fields? You're so. How did you expect to have any leverage with us? This is pathetic. Gosh, my character sheet is fucking up. And it's still fucking up. No, wait, got it. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit him with the Thunder Gauntlet once.
That will hit.
And then hit him with the Thunder Gauntlets again.
Oh, yeah, you catch him with a good like hook across the jaw as he gets his arm up to catch your second gauntlet as it swings in.
And then Seb is gonna use a bonus action to defensive field,
Mm-hmm.
giving me 5 temporary hit points. And that's turn.
Constance. They're both looking pretty fucked up. Red's looking a little more fucked up than the new guy right now.
Constance will bless Zadicus, Sev, and Beacon, and will attack the new guy with the tentacle.
Cool. That will just miss.
Alrighty. And that is Constance's turn.
Okay. You see the field flickers back into place, Sev. He is looking kind of desperate all of a sudden. He was doing okay, and the divine smite seems to have shook him quite a bit. But he will throw 2 punches out at you. 21.
That fucking hits.
9 thunder damage. Yeah. Nat 20. Yeah, nat 20 to second attack, so let's see. Ooh. The second one swings around and catches you for 16 thunder damage. He seems to be in the zone, Sev. He kind of, as you mocked him, he didn't seem to respond as he maybe thought he should. And he seems to be more concerned at this point, like something has flipped a switch in his brain, and he is just like an animal backed into a corner at this point. But that is all he can do on his turn. Zadicus.
I think I might switch targets here because I do not like. Yeah, I'm gonna swing on red.
Okay.
If I can get my character sheet to expand. That's a natural one.
Oof.
I'll go ahead and use an inspiration. And yeah, I'll use inspiration. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's a little better.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
That's just a little better. I got my sneak attack on. I already used.
Ouch. Ouch. Still pretty good.
Snake eyes on that sneak attack. All right.
You blow through his field with some despair. He's looking pretty hurt.
Yeah. Oh God, why did I play a rogue? D6s do hate me. Shit, what was I thinking? Bonus action. I will help. I'm gonna help Sev punch red.
Okay. Cool.
I've never played a rogue. Okay.
Beacon.
Wielding the blade of the glaive, the echo is going to strike red twice. Okay.
Yeah.
How's he looking?
Pretty fucked up.
Yeah, one more.
On his last legs.
Oh, I can't. I don't have anything else. Okay.
Yeah, he's taken a horrific amount of damage at this point.
Yeah, that's it for my turn.
All right. The new guy takes a step up and he holds up his like stump of an arm, and you see the nozzle on its back like essentially like cracks as a huge stream comes like down his arm and seems just below the end of his arm off as he holds it up. And Beacon, Constance, Dux, and the Echo all make dexterity saving throws as this huge jet of astral steam comes blasting out.
I'm gonna use inspiration on my first roll.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use an
Wow.
inspiration on my roll too. Whew. I still might die. Who knows?
And in these cases, I will always be rolling body first, Echo second.
Okay. So Dux is the only one who saved. Let's see, let me count this up.
That's for Bless.
Okay, got it. Each of you takes 21 fire damage as it essentially scalds you. Fucking Dux, you take half.
Still kicking.
It still puts you barely up.
Oh, I did it again.
Okay. Dux, the new guy is still. I mean, if he can continue doing that, it's a bit of a problem.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not going to be able to hit him this turn, but I'm going to use 24 of my 25 lay on hands on myself.
What does it look like when you lay on hands?
I like am coated in just like a rolling mist that just like obfuscates me, and whenever it fades away, all the wounds have kind of just like cauterized themselves.
Mhm. Sick. Okay.
My fur is wet and matted now.
Yeah. All the
Uh,
burns sort of scab over.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to Misty Step again right over on the other side of this guy.
Okay. Sev, he is literally on his last legs.
Yeah. I know what I'm gonna do. And that is going to be the old one too.
You have advantage on the first.
You do.
Ah, beautiful. She just goes ahead and bashes just straight through the head in the opening of the stance.
Yeah, you have advantage, so I guess it doesn't matter. You
It'll
can see
matter
if
on
you
a
crit.
but
But yeah, you
Why not? Nope, did not crit.
okay, yeah, so how do you want to do this? Describe it for me, because he's up in like a boxer stance, he has his arms out in front of him, like getting ready to block.
Sev, like, purposefully punches into the guard, and he guards with both fists, and she just engages sort of like an overdrive, and it just starts pushing him back, and with the other fist she just goes ahead and finishes him while his hands are locked in place.
Yeah. You punch just straight up like Rock'em Sock'em Robot, like knock his skull back. You could see it's attached by like some kind of metallic device to the rest of his spine, which is still there as he like falls back bleeding onto the ground. And in his gauntlets that he had up is like the perfect like crunch shape of your gauntlet as it hit, as he falls falls back. And yeah, he is fucking super dead.
Yeah, Sev is gonna go ahead and use her. Actually, I have no wait. I gotta make a regular attack. I was like, I have magic that I haven't used for a while, so I'll just make my second attack against the new guy.
Yep,
with a
that'll hit.
16. And I'll also activate the Skycall gauntlets.
Mm-hmm.
What die are those? It's a D8.
D8.
2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
For another 9.
Roll me an
9 lightning.
Roll me an Arcana check real quick. Or investigation, whichever you prefer.
I'm good at these.
Yep. As Red hit the ground, you turned to throw a punch, and your eyes flick over, and you see the hardware Red has on is starting to spark. With an 18, you can't tell necessarily what's about to happen, but it doesn't look good, and it's some kind of, you would guess, a failsafe to keep his tech from getting into somebody else's hands, since it activated like the second he died.
Sev was like looking at that implant and was thinking, "Ooh, you're gonna come home with me." But as soon as she sees it spark and trigger a failsafe, she's just gonna be like, "Oh fuck, and start running backwards. I will take that op attack. Please and
See,
thank you.
oh fuck me, fuck you. That'll miss. Rolled a fucking.
And as she's
rolled 11.
And as she's running, she's just screaming, "It's a failsafe! His head's probably gonna explode around. Just get away from him!" And that's turn.
Constant.
I will reach out and try and fuck with the new guy's hydraulic system.
Holy shit. Yeah. Let's see. Nope, that won't do it. Yeah, the vibration sort of thunders through his like the hydraulic unit on his back. And you see as it like shakes, bits of it are just sort of uncorking themselves from him and now spewing astral water all around the hallway. That got him pretty fucking good.
And with my bonus action, I'll take a swipe there.
So what does it look like when you when you kill this thing with the tentacle?
I think it's probably just a combination of like Constance increasing the pressure in all of the hydraulic units and cabling to the point where it's just spewing stuff all over the place, and the tentacle just starts ripping cables out of things, so everything just starts leaking until it collapses.
Yeah, it like one of its arms still spewing everywhere. it like collapses down to a knee as like it seems like some of the fluid going to its knee like gave out. And as it like reaches up kind of to try to get one arm across its back, the like force of it just implodes the tank on its back as your thing is going through and just like, ripping and yanking and like pulling this cold damage through it as it swipes. And like with a roar, it collapses onto the ground. Oh, sorry. Do you have? Yeah, that was your action, bonus action. Okay. I need a dexterity saving throw from everybody but Sev. You see the sort of spark that started in Red's head, or what's left of it, arcs down towards his fists as you see each of the fists starts to glow and crackle further. And each of his fists detonate.
Do I get any inspiration for the journals? Because if so,
Sure.
I'm going to use one of those points of inspiration
Yeah.
to attempt to solve that problem. That'll do.
Okay. So we've got. Okay. This one will be only Ducks and Beacon fail. So as each of these gauntlets detonates one after the other, it creates what looks like a sort of static field that pulses out enough to like kind of throw the new guy to the side. Ducks and Beacon, you get caught in the worst of it. The other two of you get caught in sort of the edge. Let's see. Low as shit. For those that failed, take 14 lightning damage. And those that succeeded, take half. Oh shit, I just looked at your health. Fuck. Fuck. Yeah, this particular static like charge of electricity just shorts you out, Beacon, in a way you've never experienced before. And we will drop actually we'll move in. Yeah, we can drop combat order. Combat is over.
Alright, Dux is gonna rush over to Beacon and give them the one remaining lay on hands.
The one.
This is what it was saved for.
Ow.
Oh, hello. Constance is gonna reach out to Beacon and do a second level Cure Wounds, and is gonna reach out to Dux and do a first level Cure Wounds. And then walk down to Sev and do a first level Cure Wounds.
The lantern door just opens and mist smoke coalesces into the Echo, who just stands over the body and like boxes him over the side of the head.
So yeah, you are now standing in this what appears to be some kind of research facility. The body of Red is completely slagged at this point. A little bit is left of like his coat, and you can see a little bit left of like maybe a foot, but almost everything that had tech in it seems to have been completely fried intentionally. The new guy seems to be largely intact, though it's kind of hard to tell like what is going on with his whole shit. And yeah, what do you all do?
Pull to my feet. Our feet.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going next?
Did
Said the mind has already
did
been
Red
moved,
say? Yeah.
which means there's nothing. Well, our target isn't here, but there is perhaps information in any of these offices. If we are feeling up to it, suggest we fan out and search. Otherwise, I think we should get the hell out of here since, well, we have made quite a bit of noise.
So yeah, if you each want to give me an investigation or probably investigation check, just for a general sweep, kind of describe what, if anything, you find. Or you can place yourself in a particular room if you're interested in seeing what specifically is going on with that.
I will give Zadakis guidance on this investigation.
Thank you.
Huh.
Can Dux try to intimidate the information into revealing?
Yes.
Intimidate the logos of the information into manifesting. Okay. Dux, you find yourself over here in what looks like a storage room, and you kind of like check a few boxes open, and it kind of just looks like a bunch of crap. Like you're not really sure what any of this is good for. Constant, similarly over here, you do find some like MRE style like rations, like ration packs, tucked away in one of the barrels. And you're like, oh, okay, well,
No, I'm not. I'm like, oh, fucking fantastic. These are all
Yeah.
coming back with me to the kitchen.
yeah. You find like 4 rations basically, or
Fantastic.
4 rations worth. Yeah.
Figure out how to craft something interesting with these.
Yeah, there's some like fucking squeezed cheese and like a piece of bread on one. It seems
Questionable
kind
at
of
best.
yeah, it seems kind of grim, but it's food.
Yeah.
Sev, you find yourself kind of drawn to the area where the new guy erupted from. And the first thing you notice is that kind of in the center, uh, on a raised platform, is what looked like a tank where he must have been, I guess, placed in. And as you're looking through, go ahead and give me an Arcana check with advantage.
I'm also gonna give myself guidance for this.
Sure. All right. So you are looking for stuff and don't initially find much, other than you do find some, specifically in here, some bits and pieces of what you immediately identify as minder tech, as in from disassembled minders. How to quantify that is kind of hard, but just write down, some minder tech.
Minder bits.
Yeah, minder bits. What you've put together, though, from just looking at this, and you kind of glance out at the new guy with a fucking 26, you are reasonably sure that the new guy was never like human, at least not human as you understand it, or rather even humanoid. Like whatever he is, he was made whole cloth, and very clearly, he has been an attempt to, in a very, very ugly and to your mind, like inelegant way, just sort of graft minder tech onto a person and get it working. And you do find some of the sort of notes describing the various attempts at this process, and that this was the only successful iteration. The previous ones were largely dysfunctional. They tended to have a large number of health issues, mostly in that none of them could sustain the concentrated, sort of like coursing astral water in the place of blood or whatever it is they have inside of them. But yeah, you poking around the laboratory, that is what you get. You understand pretty clearly what the new guy is about, like what that whole process is.
All right. Are there any like tools and stuff? Like, is this a working laboratory or is this just where they were storing him?
Yeah, you find some hmm. Yeah, they're not like magical tools, but you do find essentially what would constitute a set of high-end like engineering tools for sphere side engineering specifically.
I'll just
So
pocket those because I'm a
yeah,
goblin. And then probably proceed to if there are any consoles or uh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and break those and also the tank and whatever other shit I can find
hmm
that might be used to make another one of these.
yeah, you just said about shattering all of these tanks of water as they sort of pour out onto the ground. Zadicus,
Mm-hmm.
you come down into here, and the first thing you notice is, as he said, there is the corpses of a large number of researchers in here. There is 2 gnomes, 1 dwarf, and 1 what looks like a Goliath. They don't have any identifying marks on them. The 2 gnomes are female, the dwarf is male, and the Goliath is male. They are wearing like what we would call like lab coat attire. Um, they don't have any badge or any, you kind of like check their pockets, and they're not really carrying anything on them, which itself is suspicious. Uh, and glancing around, you do find over here where I've kind of placed you a console. And you're not super familiar with sphere tech in general, but you sit and look at it for a second, and then you kind of stare down at the keyboard, and you notice the pattern in the keys, where there's almost like a faint crack, as if like this is the pattern that Red pressed, and you, for lack of a better word, like press it, like work your way through after a few iterations and manage to actually get it to open by just mimicking the buttons that he pressed. And
You've seen Sev do this. How hard can this be, Zadicus? Not that Sev isn't a genius, but like, come on. It's a keyboard. If Red could handle it, you can handle it. Tap.
yep,
Tap.
yeah, as you're
Tap.
henpecking, like tap, 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 uh, you reach kind of the limit of your understanding of this thing in that you get it to give you like what essentially we would know as like a USB stick. But the information that's on the computer, it's hard to make heads or tails of what the fuck any of it means because a lot of it
No.
seems encrypted. So you've managed. You're like, okay, fuck it. I can't
Sev
understand
can read
this.
this. Gotta go.
Yeah, you find the like there is a button that just says like external, like external hard drive or whatever, and you're like external. That sounds good. Take it out of there. Press the button, and it just ejects a little USB stick for you. And that is what you find.
Are we all set? All done? Good to go. I expect there will be more guards fairly soon.
Beacon, the alarm is off. Finally.
There's a few moments where we are trying to decide if we are concussed and we can't hear it, or if it is actually not on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sev emerges from the room like dripping wet.
Mm-hmm.
All
You have a-
right, time to go.
What in the hell did you? You know what? Never mind. Don't care. Let's go. I mean, do care, but not the issue right now. It would seem our target is not here. We have.
Cody, are there any more exits or entrances to this place?
I'll take you back to the main room. The only other place was the barracks, which, if you recall, a whole shit ton of people came running out of last fight.
The alarm has ceased.
Well, that's good, I think. Is there something else we can?
Do you think we should check out the barracks?
We are being paid per
Maybe
head.
there's some sort of. Yeah, but we also
Gruesome, but
kind of
true.
want to recover the target.
Well, the target isn't here, so that would be difficult.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe somebody got orders and it's recorded somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you all go to investigate the barracks.
Echo first.
Yeah.
If you'd like, I can. Okay, nope. March on through. Appreciate.
So, everybody give me an investigation and just, I keep saying or perception, just investigation. Just to see what you can find in here.
I'm gonna do a guidance as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make that 21. Blackjack.
Oop, I do not have. Sorry. So that's just a 14 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Okay, so you essentially go rifling through these beds. All told, between all of them and all of these like personal areas, you find, as the lot of you, 22 gold scattered through like the kind of like chests at the end of at the foot of a lot of these beds.
All right, who's group loot? Group loot chief.
Any extra helmets in here?
Yes, so Sev, you find up in here what looks like a equipment closet. And in there you find 4 spare suits that the enforcers had.
Was that you
Great.
say 22
I'm
gold?
gonna
Yep,
snag
22 gold.
one. I'm gonna snag
In
one,
my
put it in my
scarf
bag of
of holding.
holding, and then go ahead and tell anyone else who's interested. Are there also any of those batons, or could I pick one up from the other room?
Yeah, there's a shit ton
Okay,
of batons.
yeah.
You could
I'll
go
take one
back
of
and get all the
those.
batons if you wanted to. Not sure what you'd do with them, but so yeah, to your point, Constance, after Sev points them out, yeah, there are 3 remaining like sets of this enforcer armor, including 3 helmets.
Yeah, Constance will just take the 3 helmets.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Constance, you sly dog. You sly dog, you.
Well, the payment is per head, is it not?
Yep, yes it is. Those look like 3 heads to me.
Some heads don't make it out of combat.
All right. Do you all depart from this place?
Mhm.
Okay.
Unless we're going to go further through past the doors where Red was, I think we're done.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've investigated everything, have we not?
Yeah,
Cody?
you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no other
that's-
places to go in the holding area. All right. You all limp. Some of you limp your way back into the elevator, and you ascend.
A
As
little more
you
advanced warning would be appreciated next time. I'm just saying. Throwing that
Who
out
are
there.
you speaking to?
Sev. I said Sev. A little bit of advanced warning would be. You punched the man and said it's going to explode, and then it immediately exploded. I'm
Not
just.
my fault. It has a short trigger fuse.
Was this
I don't
not
understand
your
what most of
invention?
those words mean, but you know.
What? No. This thing's completely non-intrusive. She like takes the cuffs off, wiggles her arms a little bit, and puts them back on. That shit was integrated to him, and not well. He had like a little chip on his spine. Surgically implanted, maybe? I don't know.
the elevator ride passes for a few more moments, and you reach that kind of double hallway, one in front of you, one behind.
This is where we broke through the ceiling, right? Shouldn't we have an exit somewhere around here, or do we want to? Do
Yeah,
we think
if
there might
you
be more on this level?
if you go about 20 feet, yeah, the two places. So if you turn around, you can see the ladder that led up behind the locked gate, and in front of you, you could see the ladder that led up to. You can still see some light coming through, actually, from the street where you wrenched the door apart. Do you all ascend to the street level?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, you make it up, and the first thing you see is essentially a pile of neatly stacked enforcer bodies, about 6 of them, and one operator. They seem to be like stacked into like 2 piles of 3, and then the operator sitting to the side. Each of the helmets has been taken off and set in a little pile next to them, and you can see pretty apparently that each of them has just a single slash across their throat. Tulip is sitting on one of the piles. You see her left arm currently is missing, at least below like the elbow. She has a couple of like dings and dents, including one that's kind of like in at face level, so it looks like part of her cheek is caved in a little bit. And she's like, "Well, I'm really glad y'all showed up when you did. You looked pretty fucked up, but we need to get the fuck out of here."
Yep, that's why we're
Yeah.
hurrying.
How many did you get?
A lot.
Right.
Lot.
I guess I only got 6. Shit. How am I gonna fucking carry the helmets? Okay. I think I can.
Tulip, darling,
While you
I
figure
can
that out,
hold
we're
them.
gonna go.
Okay. Yeah. Let's fuck off.
I'll offer for her to put the helmets in my bag of holding.
Yeah. She dumps all 6. Oh, rather,
Yes.
all 7 of the helmets.
We'll be more than happy to carry your 5 helmets.
Give me 6. All right, let's go.
Okay. Right. Okay. She's already like running off down the street. Everybody roll me a perception check as you go running off. Head to
Oof.
head to the
Too
ground.
busy old man running.
Yeah, old man running. Like you're the only one who manages to catch up to Tulip.
Catch up. I left before she was done
Yeah.
talking.
I just turned to Zadicus as we're running. This is exciting, isn't it?
Okay, let's go in order. The two of you run it. Yeah, you can't. There's nothing but the run. Let's do this shit. Sev, you are. Sev, you're too busy thinking about all the shit that just happened. It's a big information dump for you about a lot of stuff you didn't know about until now. And so you're completely preoccupied. Beacon, you immediately can hear a different sort of siren that's coming from not in front of you, but far, far behind you. And your initial guess is that it is on the other side of the warehouse as you. So you're moving away from it at a pretty rapid clip.
Okay. I briefly assure everyone that we are definitely being followed, but they have not, but not by any meaningful distance.
Mm-hmm. Dux, you, as you're running down the middle of the street, you glance up and see one of the like mag cars going overhead. And as it gets closer back the street to where you came to descend near to the warehouse, you see a group of suspiciously clad in that they look like they're wearing mostly the sort of smaller operatives from down below, but there are a number of them quite a ways back. They seem to be arriving at the warehouse soon. Ducks, that is. You see this.
We got a lot more of those things. I mean, do we want to go back and collect a few more bounties, or it's probably time to get out of here? No, yeah.
Sev's
Yeah.
like fiddling with her gauntlet and like raises it with this big like canister on the top of it where the crossbow thing contraption used to be. And it's like, I still got this. Good for crowds. But yeah, we should probably go.
I assume
Yeah.
at some point law enforcement will make their way to us. We should probably not be here when they arrive.
All right.
Who knew
You
running
all-
from things was such fun?
You all make it back to the essentially like luxury bar where the room that will take you back to the manor is. As you all storm past, the construct at the desk goes, "Would you like to leave a review, please?" And you see Tulip just throws a knife into its head.
Well, now we've got a trail, but okay.
You make it back to the room as she quickly like pounds on the wall and it slides down onto the rail and then ascends. It will take you over where the shit went down, so over the warehouse.
That's
As
fine.
yeah, as you
We're
pass
up there.
over, right around this time, you see a large number of sort of burlier sphere-side constructs. One of which has like almost like a bulldozer attachment on its arm, just pushing its way through the crowd down the street towards the warehouse. And as you're watching and go over pretty quickly, you see the operatives are running back around the side to try to get down below street level, and you see them go underneath the actually you see them one of them like reach the fucked up door and turn to look at the others, and they're clearly like panicking, and you see three of them just go running off down the alley. Yeah, you catch all of that in kind of this flash as you pass over it and out the other side.
How long is this ride that we're on?
About 10 minutes.
Okay, gotcha.
Pretty fast.
So I was gonna take a look at Tulip's arm and ask her, "Hey, do you have anybody who can take care of this?"
Yeah, no, it'll be fine. I have replacements. Just a bit annoying. So what happened down there with y'all, by the way? Let me guess you're not obligated to tell me. You don't have to. Professional.
We did
You
what
know.
we exactly were told to do.
Well, and the target wasn't there.
That's unfortunate. Not
Well,
unexpected, but unfortunate.
it was mentioned that they were moved, so I can only assume that they're not dead yet.
If I remember correctly, it was mentioned that the target was moved off-world.
Well, that complicates things. Did you figure out who did it? Who are the mooks working for?
Integratech.
Well, that sounds like a lot of, I don't know, kind of made up.
Yeah, no.
Every name is made up. I don't understand.
Yeah, you have a point. That's true. Some are just more made up than others, I think.
Yeah, it really has that amateur startup ring to it. Ugh. Corpos.
She considers for a moment, says, "So how many did you get?"
We'll get final count once we're arranging payment, but a lot. I don't know exactly, but a lot.
Yeah. She just smiles. It's like, oh, good shit. I guess if it's gonna be a revenge mission, sort of slay them all approach is pretty appropriate. So yeah, you all make it back to the manor. You are ushered quickly down to Mr. Loyal's apartment down below the guardhouse. As the sort of door swings open, his his eyes like flash open, and he like shakily gets to his feet. Did you find anything?
As a matter of fact, yes.
His eyes kind of flicker over you, and then the rest of the elevator, not seeing a minder, and he sort of sits heavily back and puts a hand up to his head.
Yeah, that's the problem. Apparently, he was moved off world. But we do know who was responsible.
Would you please give me an account of everything you saw, everything that happened? He makes a gesture, and Jorg kind of slides over from the side of the room and takes out a pen and a bit of paper.
Very well. We got to the warehouse and entered through a ladder that took us to an area underneath it. There were many guards there. We murdered them all.
He
There we
nods.
discovered an individual named Red. Red informed us that the Minder had been taken off-world by, what's the name of the organization that took him off-world? By Integratech. He also introduced us to the new guy.
What do you mean?
Oh, the new guy was a large construct, very large in fact. Negotiations broke down, and we killed both of them as well. We have returned here to complete our contract. You wanted revenge, and Constance will reach into Seb's bag of holding and pull out a head and just drop it on the table. We have gotten revenge for you.
How many did you take? How many did you slay, more specifically?
We slayed at least 30 individuals working there. Of that, we were able to recover a combination of 25 heads and or helmets. Hard to keep account of all of them during the murder.
Yeah, there were also a lot of constructs, so, you know.
I did melt many things with this, and I'll hold up the rod.
You say then that you have 25 heads, helmets?
Yes.
25.
We outturned the scarf.
Yeah, he nods to Jorg, who produces a pouch and sets it on the table. And he puts his hands around it and says, "Did you find any information on the location of my father?"
It did look like they were cleaning house of their staff. There were a number of dead scientists. There were some computers. Or terminals. I don't really. That my thing, Sev. You. And
Did you take
produce
anything?
the thing. Yeah.
Oh,
This thing. I assume you know what this is for, Sev.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Would I know what the USB drive is?
Yeah, it's definitely something that you store information on. You see his eyes narrow as he looks at it, and he says, 25 times 50. We will bring that then to... I will make a deal with you then. 750 gold for that device. If you agree then to, well, I will give you preferential bidding on any mission that will follow regarding what I find from it. I would expect you to oblige me.
And why would I do that?
Money.
I brought this out for my friend here, not... our mission for you was done. Was it
And
was that not what we were looking for, or you? This is a separate offer.
this is a separate offer. You will have your 1,250 gold. I'm offering more for that device. You found that there in the warehouse.
Yes. Like I said, this is for Sev. You can take that up with her. And he just
Yeah.
puts it in one of the big gauntlets.
Then Sev.
Yes.
750 gold for that device. In addition, then, if any further violence is required, well, I would both contact you first and hope that professional courtesy would bring you back.
Another thing. I do want you to share any pertinent information because they had my tech too. Those scientists were trying to, and failing, mind you, replicate these. And she holds up the gauntlets. And there's a whole lab dedicated to weird cybernetics and making minder human hybrids weird. But if anything happens, I want to know. Okay?
If anything happens, you mean regarding your research?
No,
or...
I mean regarding.
We want everything you find. Let's just make this easy.
Yeah, basically. At least information-wise.
He strokes his chin and considers for a long moment. Yes, fine. And even 2,000 gold then.
Sound good? Sev scans the room.
Would you prefer gold or platinum?
Sev scans the room again.
Platinum will make it easier to
Platinum's a
carry.
Then you will have platinum. He looks at Jorg, who says, I will have to be right back then. Would one of you, you make accompany me to make sure this is all on the up and up, if you wish?
I can do that, no problem.
Yeah, the two of you. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Dux and Jorg get into the lift and go back to the top. Dux, he goes into the front hall of the manor, and now that you are actually inside of this place, it is incredibly ostentatious. More like wealth on display than anything you've ever seen. But you also note pretty apparently that everything is covered in a pretty thick layer of dust, as if nobody really, moves through this space very often. Although you do see some servants down kind of in the side wings beginning some form of cleanup effort. And Jorg enters into a storage closet basically, wherein he pulls open a drawer on one of the walls and begins counting out platinum. As you look in the drawer, you see more wealth in a singular place than you've ever seen in one place ever.
Dux just tries to keep a straight face and
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah, after a moment, the two of them return. Jorg takes the pouch that had the gold in it, and then places a new pouch down, which contains 2,000 gold in platinum. So fucking what?
Beautiful.
200 platinum. No.
Yeah.
Yes. 200 platinum.
Yeah.
As this happens, Mr. Loyal stands to his feet and goes first to shake your hand, Zadicus.
Shake.
It is a grim business you have done for me. But you've done more for me than most.
Pleased to be of service. Not my usual thing, but is what it is.
Understood. Then he moves through a line, each of you shaking a hand and thanking you specifically. As he finishes, he takes a step back and says, I will investigate the contents of this device you have given me. If I wish to hire you again through the previous contact,
Mm-hmm.
would you be amenable to working for me again? Understanding that the business may be just as grim.
Yeah.
Don't see why not, depending on the efforts you make with regards to that device from my friend Sev here, then I see no reason not.
And on that note, Seb, the information will be relayed to you through our mutual contact. Is that acceptable, or should I arrange to have it delivered to you personally somehow?
There are contacts fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, that concludes the business here, for the time being at least.
Very well. We should get some rest.
My non-existent hat, and I guess head to the elevator.
Yeah, Seth
Yeah.
is gonna return Tulip's helmets and she'll take out the 6 and then take the one from her armor set and give her a wink as she's walking away.
Yeah, she winks back. Jorg follows you all into the elevator. Tulip seems to stay down. And Tulip waves at all of you and says, well, I guess we didn't really work together, but a solid job overall. It's a pleasure working with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You as well.
Thank-
Every part of a
Likewise.
plan is important.
Yep. If we ever need to, I don't know, declare war on maybe like a minor fiefdom somewhere, I know who I'll be the first to call. Or I should say, you'll be the first I call.
Glad to hear it.
Her eyes glaze over for a second. She says, okay, would you please leave a review? Zero spheres being, and she gets about halfway through, goes, just fucking get out of here. Go.
Thaddeus has just been jamming the button for the elevator the whole time.
Yeah.
You want a
Jorg,
review? Here's your fucking review. Get the fuck out of
Yeah, Jorg takes you to the lift. Uh, Sev, give me a perception check.
Oh no! I don't like it when
It's
it's
fine.
just me. I'm gonna guidance if I can.
Sure.
Oh
Yeah.
crumbs!
You get
Oh,
back in the lift and everything
no.
looks fine.
Oh no!
Your eyes are specifically drawn
Oh.
especially to the area that was cut out, but you don't see the shape of anything there. So,
I fucking hate this, Cody. you know what you're doing.
so,
God damn it! Now I have to just sit here.
yeah. So you all get taken back to your ship. Back to the Royal Pigeon specifically. And then as you pass by, the sphere construct asks you to review your stay, and this time Jorg doesn't respond to it either. And Jorg will essentially walk you to the shipyard where your ship is docked.
Mhm.
As this happens, he peels off from you at the last, as you are approaching. It seems to be directing some dock workers as they are moving the pallet of, or rather, the box of wine that you all delivered here.
Why?
What?
I'm sorry, I'm just still laughing at the box of wine.
Yeah, it's like a box. Yeah, yes, it's a giant box wine with a little spigot on the side. This party's gonna be crazy. It's like a 10 by 10 foot box of wine. Shit's
Oh
gonna
my
get
God.
wild.
That's awesome.
It's
Where's
got
all
acid
those
water in it.
videos that I've got of that fucking tipsy bartender and his enormous vats of jungle juice?
So yeah, you all climb back aboard. Mig will greet you and say, "Well, how did it go? You seem
Mission
quite hurt."
accomplished. Money paid. No one the wiser.
How much money did you acquire?
200 platinum.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are you still intending to put some of that into the ship?
Were we? I suppose so.
It would be appreciated, but not.
But not required.
Well, for
I just
operating costs,
no, I understand. I just
perhaps
sentences.
10 platinum for. Well, no. 5 platinum for operating costs.
Ducks, I think you have our reserves, right? Finder's fee and all that. Chads.
Yeah, sure thing. 5 platinum coming right up.
Thank you. Also, for consideration, where are we going next?
Well, haven't we got that other job lined up? Is that still on the table, or?
I have not heard any updates regarding the Gork mission, but that is on the table. Last I was informed, it is 900 gold. 1,200 if the creature in question can be brought back whole for study.
Not bad. Not bad. I thought. Didn't we have a minder colony that needed some supplies?
Yes, we would have to go back to Pendeldock for that. Get the water that is required and then deliver it.
Hmm.
That can be done.
Indeed. The question then is, will we go to Gork first, or disregard that mission?
We should finish what we have started.
Sure.
Go monster hunting.
I am curious to see this beast that carried off the Gork pigs. Something new, something exciting, perhaps.
Excellent. Will you chart a course there then?
Of course. I'll just go standard speed.
So essentially, you're from where you are, which is about 2 to 3 days away from the port gate. It's around 2 to 3 days there, and then 2 to 3 days using the same slingshot maneuver. So around 4 days. Let's call it 5 to get to Gork from here. Essentially, like going past the gate you came in, Lektos, and then turn around, basically just going out the other side to get to Gork. All right, you chart a course, and that is a good time for the 15-minute break, I think. Right at 9 o'clock.
Sounds good.
Yeah. You solved my murder puzzle.
And now, intermission. Refreshment time.
Sure is great being on a drive-in watching Super Flick and eating all this great food.
This flick is making me hungry.
It makes me want to flick my bick.
We should have gone to the drive-in where we could eat and flick to our heart's content.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Well, come on then. I'm going to have a pizza and popcorn and ice cream.
And I'm gonna have a burger with fries and a soft drink. Yum, yum, yum. This was a great idea.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us, and we extend a cordial welcome to you. We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with the new, colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading about. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome. It's intermission. Rise and stretch time. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for hot popcorn? Your favorite soft drinks are sparkling cold. The Juicy Frank sizzling hot. There's delicious coffee, freshly brewed, and all kinds of ice cream and candy to tempt you. Showtime will be announced loud and clear to get you back to your car in time. So stretch your legs. Come to the snack bar now. Sparkling soft drinks. Steaming hot coffee. Steamed or grilled hot dogs. Crispy hot fresh French fries. How about a pizza? None better anywhere.
Sneaking out to the drive-in? Why not take the kiddies along and save the expense of a sitter? Everyone enjoys the drive-in.
Our new Cutlass now.
Sure handles easy.
Drive happy, Cutlass can make you a little drive happy.
I forgot to get the newspaper.
glad we ordered these swivel bucket seats.
Yeah, in case I get to drive someday.
The Cutlass S, Oldsmobile's sporty fastback at a price that's less than you might think to help make you really drive happy.
Drive happy. Can I drive now?
Take a good look at Clyde Garfield's Cadillac and Oldsmobile dealership. And then take a drive in a new Oldsmobile, Cadillac, or one of the fine used cars. Serviced by Clyde's 21 factory-trained personnel and expert craftsmen. Cadillac and Oldsmobile means the very best in automobiles. And Clyde Garfield is the best in dealership and service. Clyde Garfield's Cadillac and Oldsmobile, New England Automobile Village, Route 3, New Hampshire.
You're invited to stop in at Nashua's own McDonald's on Route 101A. You'll find McDonald's high quality, fast service, and reasonable prices. Also, visit McDonald's at the Drum Hill shopping area in Chelmsford. Treat yourself and the family at McDonald's soon.
And now, intermission. Refreshment time.
Sure is great being in a drive-in watching Superflick and eating all this great food.
This flick is making me hungry.
It makes me want to flick my bick.
We should have gone to the drive-in where we could eat and flick to our heart's content.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Well, come on then. I'm going to have a pizza and popcorn and ice cream.
And I'm gonna have a burger with fries and a soft drink. Yum, yum, yum. This was a great idea.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us, and we extend a cordial welcome to you. We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with the new, colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading about. To add to your enjoyment, We're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome. It's intermission. Rise and stretch time. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for hot popcorn? Your favorite soft drinks are sparkling cold. The juicy Frank sizzling hot. There's delicious coffee, freshly brewed, and all kinds of ice cream and candy to tempt you. Showtime will be announced loud and clear to get you back to your car in time. So stretch your legs. Come to the snack bar now. Sparkling soft drinks. Steaming hot coffee. Steamed or grilled hot dogs. Crispy hot fresh French fries. How about a pizza? None better anywhere.
Sneaking out to the drive-in? Why not take the kiddies along and save the expense of a sitter? Everyone enjoys the drive-in.
Now I'm gonna zag on you. Now I'm gonna do it in no particular order, just to be chaotic.
Now he's gonna Zadicus on you. Oh shit! Oh,
I don't know how to
shit.
give you a
God,
reverse inspiration.
I mean, there is an answer to that one, Cody. As it turns out, that one's got an answer.
Like, I don't know. We're gonna call that I'm gonna call that a check mark. It's like a demerit. After 3 check marks, then you don't get any recess.
Well, wait a second. Like, The only reason I take offense at this is if it turns out that we've been playing with the demerit system the whole time, and somehow I'm still allowed to play, right? Then I don't understand how this demerit system works.
Look.
Also, Cody, inspiration is advantage. There is an opposite to that one.
Yeah, but it feels harsh. So we're gonna go with the no recess system. I'm very familiar with that system.
But some of us have to get up and pee, Cody.
Well, too bad. Think about what you've done. I don't know, read a book or something. That's what I did.
Furthermore, the childhood shame attached to no recess because of your behavior is much more punishing than mere disadvantage.
Oh yeah, look. I'm speaking from rich personal experience. I didn't have a recess.
None of you get a break because Adam can't behave.
Like, that hurt so bad and sounds really familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, that one caught me pretty good.
Oh, God.
All right. So, having rolled on the things what could happen table, this is a fairly uneventful sphere trip. Is there anything any of you want to do with your couple? I should say specifically 5 days of just relaxing.
Once the course is set and Sev has made her way back down to the engine room, Zadicus will follow and just. I have to admit, I'm a little surprised you didn't keep that doodad for yourself. I thought it might come in handy. Your friend that you mentioned.
She sort of looks down at Zadicus. Maybe. I don't think so. Different sort of corporation, but, never know if they're connected. Still, if that guy wants us to work with him again, he's going to have to share all of his information with us. So if anything important comes up, I'm sure we'll know.
Is it the sort of thing you could have gotten into? I don't really know how it works, but is it the sort of thing you could have unlocked here, or did you need him to do it for you?
Would I have known how to use it?
Yes, but you don't have what you need here. You would need like a sphere side terminal or something, and you don't really have something like that aboard. You could maybe get one, but not currently.
We have some gear that we need, but it's a little bit expensive and out of the way, so.
All right, I see. Make him pay. He does the work. We still get the information. Will you be able to tell if it's everything?
I mean, yeah, I'll probably be able to tell.
Well, good. Then problem solved. I have to admit, I was a little worried when They were definitely cleaning house. Their own lab coat people were dead on the ground, and we didn't do it, so I have to assume that whatever it is that they've worked on or discovered, whatever's on that thing, they didn't want anyone to find it.
Right. Well, I guess it's out there now.
we've traveled together for a little while now, Sev. I just want to be sure that our Mr. Loyal, when he indicated sending you the information, said your shared contact. Is there anything that will put the rest of this crew at risk?
No, silly. It's what's her name? Jeez.
Caffney.
It's her boss. Yeah, it's Caffney. she sort of like taps on her skull with her fist.
Caffney.
Our boss.
Right, the cat in the suit. Right?
No, the minder.
The minder in a suit. Cat in the suit is the section. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I remember now.
It's been a while.
No, that's I Ted remember perfectly well.
Oh, okay, got it.
I have that written down. All right. Well, good to know. Good to know. Let you get back to your work. Sorry to. Just was curious. That's all. Can't help myself.
No. I like visitors.
Do you think Mig appreciates the visitors, or nah? That sounds like Mig's
I
problem.
think
Never
Mig
mind.
is indifferent. Well, yeah, I suppose.
Zedekiss, as you leave to the left, you see Mig politely standing there.
Mig, how's it going?
Largely indifferent, yes.
Okay.
It is a shared space. I do not use it as much as she does.
Fair point. Fair point.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna go upstairs now, Mig. Have a good day.
You as well.
These two awkward hobgoblins in the engine room.
Yeah, Mig comes in, goes into a corner without saying a single word, and just starts reading a book.
And Sev like is just totally not phased at all by it.
Sev,
Just, like,
for the
goes about her
record,
stuff.
as you've kind of just been snooping, nearly every book Mig has is either some kind of like self-help guide or a manual for like esoteric like shipworking things. Like boring to the degree that you just disengage from even necessarily thinking about what the like you see right now he's reading a book that's just like 10 steps for becoming a better crew member. And it's a very old looking tome and it just looks profoundly boring. All right. Anything else anybody wants to do with their few days? Okay. You on the sort of at noon, I mean noon relative to like clock time, you arrive at Gork. As a reminder, Gork is a world that is tidally locked. Essentially, one side of it is always facing the sun, and one side is always in the darkness. You all know where you're heading this time, which is the specific outpost where you had previously met Polishan. And as you enter into the area, you land on the spongy, sort of gray ground. And the door lowers for all of you to exit, and Polishan is standing there waving at you. He is missing one of his legs, and he seems to be walking with like one hand looped through a crutch that doesn't look like it's made of wood, but looks like it's made of some kind of spongy material. And he waves his left hand, and you see a piece of his shoulder is also missing, though it doesn't seem to be bothering him. What?
Holy
Well,
shit, what happened to you?
oh, well, I tried to make a trap out there in case, with like a gun. Gun got me pretty good. He points to his shoulder.
You shot yourself.
Oh well, no,
Your
I
own
didn't.
Trap hit you.
Okay. Well, it's growing back. It's just taking a bit. It's been a stressful couple weeks since he was last here.
I understand you lost some more pigs, and that there's
Yeah, and a leg.
A beast requires catching.
I lost a leg too. Ripped it right off.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, I was watching, and big thing, all made a bunch of little pieces, all swirling and stuff. Smashed right through. Grabbed last of the pigs. I went out, tried to fight it with a shock pole. It just threw that away and smacked me right in. Kind of just yanked the leg off.
Will it grow back?
Yeah, it'd take a while. It's already nubbing a little. Kind of like wiggles it at you.
How delightful.
Yeah. I mean, it's just sort of. I mean, well, I'm gonna take you to the representative from the town council. I'm not really. I'm just like the greeting.
Very well.
He goes limping off towards a building nearby that looks like it's kind of, the buildings here are a bit strange in that they are all this sort of like rustic looking metal, but they are rustic metal that like has these bits of like fungi and other growth sort of snaking up the sides of them. And he limps over to a door on what is like the biggest of these buildings in town. And he bangs on the side of it with his crutch and goes, "Okay, well, they're here now. You hear from in. Yes, one moment. After a moment, a very sharply dressed, small green kobold comes walking out, dressed in what is far too like extravagant an outfit. Like it is full on like formal business finery, considering Polishon is dressed in something more akin to like frontier rags. And it glances up at all of you and says, "Yes, okay. Well, you're here to take the job then, right?"
Yes.
I mean, on the details, whatever you can tell us is helpful.
Right. Fine. We will walk as. May we walk and speak at the same time?
Certainly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it goes trotting off towards the Gork pig enclosure. Well, I presume you've been filled in on some of the finer details. It's a bit of a shit show now.
Yes, you have no more.
Go ahead.
You have no more pigs, is that correct?
Right. Well, beyond that. By the way, my name is Navnu. So yes. Well, as you might have seen, Poloshan tried to fight the, we're presuming beast, not sure, off. It ripped his leg off, and then, hard to explain, screamed in all of the townsfolk's heads.
Familiar.
You're familiar with screaming in heads, sort of, I suppose, telepathic shouting.
Yes.
This is okay. Well, that's excellent. It's good that okay. Well, more specifically, it was a language I don't speak, but I could understand it. Does that make sense to all of you?
Yes.
Does that read?
What did it actually say though?
Yes, it said, Poloshan pipes up. It said it was the Duke and that it was demanding a tithe. Navnu glances at Poloshan. Quite.
The Duke, you say?
Yes. Is this the portion where we're losing you? Because you seem to have taken the speaking in a language we do not speak directly into our minds in stride, and the Duke part seems to have given you pause.
Well, I mean, the fact that it names itself means it's not just a simple beast.
What's the government around here like? I mean, do y'all elect? Do y'all have a duke, or I mean, did y'all just forget to pay your duke or something?
No, we do not have dukes. We have councils for specific outposts, elected officials. No real centralized governance. I am reasonably sure. Yes.
All right. I mean, I'm just trying to check off, boxes.
This individual has stopped to look over, just blank stare at you for a second before catching itself and continuing to walk. Right. No, we don't have a duke insofar as I am aware.
See, there's a chance you might have forgotten.
Okay, if it wants this tithe, where are you supposed to deliver it? Did it give you any details, or is it just suggesting that it's going to come in, take what it wants, and leave?
Good question. I think we are operating under the general assumption that the pigs that it took were the tithe. Though you present another problem, which is that if it comes back, we do not have any more pigs to give it, and I do not know what else it wants.
Oh.
To wit, we have sent...
Maybe his other leg?
Poloshan,
draws the glaive.
Head swivels towards you. What? No.
Well, they grow back.
I know, but it hurts. It's not nice. Doesn't feel good. As you all reach the Gork pig enclosure, you could see what was previously a wall facing the kind of line of forest is completely demolished and just torn apart.
Back the way it came then?
Yeah, Navnu nods and says, "Yep. Well, we kind of mobilized. So first we sent our best fungus foresters from here out to get it. Then we sort of outsourced because they didn't come back. And we found some of the best ones from the nearby settlements. They didn't come back neither.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So we're at a bit of a loss here.
Mm-hmm.
We're now 2 search parties down. An intelligent thing is roaming, I guess he points to the forest line, somewhere out there. Maybe coming back soon.
All right. All right. And
Yes.
what are we talking contract-wise?
Right. Simply, we would prefer it to be killed, at which point 900 gold. I suppose if you can bring back whatever the fuck it is so we can study it or figure out how. Look, there's a lot of unknowns here. I'm not going to be the one studying it. I'm told that somebody will study it. Then that will be 1200 gold, not 900.
Must be alive to be brought back.
I mean,
More for alive, less for dead.
well, if not alive, whole, perhaps? Like, alive seems hard. It seems rather big, and I don't know, you would have to put it in a large net or something.
So if we are able to kill it, but do so with minimal structural damage, and we can bring the body back, you will pay us 1,200 gold.
Yes. I mean, even more than the body, does it have a brain?
It spoke.
It spoke, yes. It seems... I'm going to assume it has some form of brain. That would be a good sort of one-stop shop if you can get something from it. Polishon, scratches the, mushroom stalk that is his head and goes, I don't really know where it'd, fit a brain, though, because, it was made up a whole bunch of, little writhing bits.
Well, we'll figure that out when we find it.
Right. Right. Well,
I don't mean to be presumptive, but what do we do if we discover that it is in fact the Duke of this place, and that it is correct in claiming a tithe? I know that that's sort of an outside thing, but I just want to cover all our bases.
Frankly, I have no fucking idea what that means. Sort of politically.
All right, well, we'll hope we don't find that out.
Guess maybe try to figure out what specifically it is the Duke of. It is the Duke of our outpost, this world.
Wonderful. So
to start.
If we find it, and it is the Duke, you would like us to operate in a diplomatic capacity.
But no, not particular. I would prefer you kill it, actually. If it's the Duke, it's not an elected official. We have not agreed that it is the Duke. It said it was the Duke.
Understood.
So preferably you kill it.
Regicide it is.
What if we run into any members of either of the search parties?
I mean, they haven't come back, so say if you find one of them and they're, well, it would be good to know if they were dead. Just generally. If you find any pieces of them, all the better. Though there were a few of my sort that won't quite work for, but do we need to negotiate finder's fee for corpses, or are you okay with just
we'll
sort of
leave it to your discretion when we return?
Right.
I don't really fancy carrying a bunch of corpses back.
I mean, if you happen to see any of his sort, he hooks a thumb towards Polishon. Just pieces will be fine. Just any amount of pieces that are left.
That's a neat picture.
It's an ambiance picture.
Yeah, I like it.
Just to get you in the mood. The good news is that, standard foresting protocols are, he points to one of the trees that you, I say tree, they're stalks of enormous mushrooms. And you could see a bioluminescent, arrow in green. And he points to another one to the left, and you can see one in orange. You should have up to a point one set of arrows, and then potentially up to another point another set of arrows to follow. So it should at least be easy enough to figure out where they ended.
Very well.
Excellent.
All right.
Should we be leaving? Should we be leaving similar marks as we explore?
To be perfectly frank, if you go out there and die, we don't have another plan to come get you or to follow along behind you. So if you want to leave some marks for your own edification or purposes, by all means, feel free. We do not at this time have any form of plan B for what happens if you do not return. So maybe I'll go back and see about that. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Though I am an elected representative, I was also elected to be the one to work with your group in this capacity. Not my preferred position or job per se, but understand that we are in many regards fucked here.
Well, we will do our best to unfuck you.
You hear like a small chuckle from Polish on like yes. That would be lovely. Do you okay. I will you feel free to I don't know, look around, whatever it is you need to do for whatever. I will go get you some at the very least light sources. Is there anything else I can give you some climbing supplies, perhaps, in case you want to scale one of the stalks to get a better look.
Oh, hell yeah.
We will be grateful for any assistance that you will provide.
Right. Well, I will leave you in the care of dear Poloshan here, and I will be back momentarily. He turns smartly and goes walking away.
Okay, everybody, I have to admit I am not much of a tracker myself. Do we have anybody in that skill set? Oh dear.
Well, it said it left, or rather, is sort of telepathic, and I guess Beacon has a sensitivity for that. I'm sure they can lead the way.
We can try, though it is not exactly that.
I mean,
we do not hear a telepathic broadcast. We hear a unnatural subsonic one. But we may still be of use in this instance.
All right, let's follow those arrows until they stop.
Right.
Perhaps we should wait for the supplies?
I mean,
Right,
yeah.
Right.
So, how y'all been?
I just kind of keep glaring down at him, holding my glaive.
I mean, I'm just trying to be friendly is all. I know.
We do appreciate it. We are trying to get ourselves prepped for this. You said this was a mass of writhing things.
Yeah, like a whole bunch of, like, it's like maybe vines or something. Like, but like, I don't know, they moved all independent and like swirly like.
Ah, yes, like vines.
Yeah, like vines.
Okay.
But like a lot of them, right? Because like it came like up and around. It just kind of tore a whole bunch of shit off.
Hmm.
And like it grabbed my leg, and I kind of had to like pull myself, and then it like constricted, and it just took the leg.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but I appreciate the information you were able to provide us. So it was fines, not really biting. All right. I don't think I have anything else unless
suppose
anyone
that
else
narrows
does. Oop, go ahead.
I guess that narrows down the kind of tracks we're looking for. Like, more like scrapes on trees and giant drag marks through the forest floor instead of, like, prints. I don't know if it travels using trees, though. This is a vine monster.
I mean, yeah, it kind of like, I don't know, it didn't like travel along the ground a whole lot until it got in the clearing, then it had to travel along the ground. Looked like it kind of came out like he like puts a hand up in a completely useless way to like dictate height. Pretty like it was like climbing up like up the pretty high way. Definitely don't let it get you. It'll get you in the leg. It'll hurt. It's no good. Oh, so like, how y'all been and stuff? Like, I know you kind of glowered at me and asked before, but you know, we got like a second.
We're well. We are just returning from murdering 30 people.
Oh, what? Well, how? Was it like
We keep leering down at him.
Was it like illegal? Like a?
We were under
Kinda
There were
contract.
extenuating circumstances.
Oh, what's that mean? What do you mean by extenuating circumstances?
What other supplies do we need before we leave?
Oh, just like, you know. He trails off.
All right.
Constance is going to go walking back towards town and just telepathically screaming Navnu.
Yeah, it's like as you begin to walk back, you see the problem appears to be that Navnu is like dragging along a pretty large satchel filled with stuff.
Oh.
And
hello. May I help you?
Yeah. Okay. Also, did you just do the thing? Was that?
No, that was in a language you know.
Okay. Right. Great.
We told you we are familiar with it.
Right.
Makes us better hunters, don't you think?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Let's take the supplies to the rest of my team.
Oh, okay. Yes, quite. Rather. Seems to gather his composure. You show back up, and Polishon is talking about like how he ate some pretty good like nutrient paste the other day at length.
Oh.
If this is where the conversation is going, Seb is definitely engaging with them very excitedly.
I kind of tasted like you know, like Jewberries are.
Oh, thank the storms. The supplies are here. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, they kind of taste like what?
Everything's here. We're gonna get started.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, I mean, maybe when you get back, I'll get you can have some, Seth.
Yes. Sweet.
I got them. I got some Lacoste flavored. I got a few others. What do you?
Just like
I start walking towards the orange arrow.
I follow Pete.
He hands you the supplies, Constance, so you have them.
Great. We're heading in.
Yeah. All right. You go traveling. Off like Polishon waves like, okay, well, be safe. Good luck. You got this.
Keep an eye out for your leg.
That was a good one, sir. Thank you. As you like round the corner out of sight, following these arrows. As you
to no one in particular, just out loud, Constance will ask hypothetically or say, I wonder at what point it becomes more efficient to just break part of the other leg off so that both are the same size.
I'm more than a little afraid we're going to find this leg and it will have grown in entirely another Polishon.
Yes.
Good.
Poor guy. He's. Let's get this done. It's been rough on them here, but let's.
So,
Constance, you've suggested something so fascinating, which is that if one limb is longer than the other, is it more convenient to cut it off? Yet you have presumably spent the majority of your life with one limb longer than the other.
Yeah, but the difference is mine don't grow back.
Yeah.
And his do.
Also, that was an arm and not a leg, so like it didn't affect her walking.
I'm pretty sure it affected other stuff. Like
there was some balance issues.
Your arms a lot.
Yeah, but not walking.
To answer your question, Adam, when it gets to the knee. No?
No, yeah, that makes good sense. that seems reasonable. Because I mean, you don't want to do it when they're too short, when the missing leg is too short, because then you won't really be able to move at all or walk at all. If you wait too long, right? Well, then you're just enduring the pain for no reason. You may as well just wait for the other leg to grow in. So it does seem like once the knee has grown back, right? Or once it's, about halfway, that seems to be the sweet spot. You'll still be able to move efficiently. And there will be enough time. Although I guess now this begs the question, how long does it take for a limb to grow back, for a leg to grow back? If we're talking days, it's probably not worth the pain that you endure. But if we're talking months, then that changes the equation. All questions I'll ask. Actually, I won't ask. Let's get this done.
I'm glad we caught that on tape. All right. You travel into this forest, and initially, for probably the first hour to 2 hours of your travel, there is still a very faint sort of almost light at dusk kind of feeling. You could still just barely see the reflecting of the sun from the other side of the world. And ahead of you, down at kind of the bottom of this particular path that you're on, following these arrows, you see a very clear line where it is dark. Like the light does not stretch any further than this place, this particular point naturally. It's a bit disconcerting to see darkness kind of in a uniform line as far as you could see to the left and right. It is not completely impenetrable. You see the soft glowing like purple and blue light that seems to dominate the path sort of ahead.
Well, and we
Yeah.
have the lights that were provided to us, correct?
Yep.
Can we
They're
see any sort of
essentially-
tracks?
Yeah, go ahead and give me, I would say like a survival check.
Sev is gonna give herself guidance and like a
So
guidance.
yeah, you have essentially these little like looked like bottled algae that when you shake them they start to glow. So every so often you have to just shake them up pretty vigorously and they glow. Constance and and Sev don't see anything. Beacon. So you're following the line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially the dual line of orange and essentially it's like orange and green arrows sort of leaning farther in. As you are scanning the ground for any kind of tracks and stuff, you see like tracks that don't appear to be humanoid, but you catch sight of them, which is they look like almost like lines and rows of like needles almost. Looked like they kind of raked themselves, and there looks like there's a couple sets of them, and they seem to go off the path to the left, and you can kind of see them needle point their way up one of the stalks, but then it goes up like further past where you can see.
This might be the vine creature that moron spoke about.
Hey, let's chase it.
I mean, it spoke. Is it worth trying to speak to it, or should we just? And he sort of makes a stabbing motion.
I look at
Sev makes
Constance.
the stabbing motion.
Well, I think it's worth trying to converse with it, but I have to be able to see it first.
Beacon, you take a couple steps like down the path to get like a better view, and the realization you're having is that the scrapes here look like they could be similar, but the important thing seems to be that it went up, and you're looking around and you don't see a place where it came back down, but you glance and see the arrows continuing into the dark. And as you look, you can see them sort of stretching off into the distance down the path before it forks. So the arrows continued past this point.
Mm-hmm.
But you catch the marks of something having gone up one of these stalks and gotten up high.
Yeah, just no way to tell when that would have been in relation to the marks being left.
Yeah, I would say you would speculate. It's hard to tell because of the way. Actually, with 24, I think with the way they like scrape these marks in, you would be able to tell just because things regrow over time here and you've been like looking at the difference between the green and the orange and kind of the difference in time as like one is fading. The marks probably happened slightly fresher than the green set, which means the first set that went through, but not fresher than the orange set, which were the second group that went through.
Okay.
Yeah, with the 24, that's pretty good. I think you can put that together.
Okay. We're going to point down the road towards the like following the arrows that remain.
Yeah, let's head on down the road.
Particularly sneaky, want to run ahead? Nope. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Oh, I'm gonna try to hide in some of these mushrooms and keep pace. It's not gonna be great because I'm a rogue not trained in stealth.
So you make it up.
There's not a lot of hiding places.
You go up a ways, sort of scouting ahead, trying to stay to the left and the right. And as far as you can tell, having moved down, you go. How far in do you range before you turn around?
Only about 30 feet.
Okay. Yeah, you make it into just about into the darkness line, and nothing happens.
I don't know what Polishon is worried about. It's virtually nothing. It's all clear, everybody. We can. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to be. Keep walking. Nailed it, Sadicus. Nailed it.
So yeah, do you all carry on into the dark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You follow for another probably 3 or 4 hours before you find, seemingly out of nowhere, the end of the green arrows. They seem to just stop in the middle of the path.
I look up.
You don't initially see anything. Give me a survival check if you want, with advantage, I think, because you have a better sense for this thing's tracks and snoozing them out. You see very faintly, very high up, what could be a descending set of tracks that looks similar. Although, of note, it doesn't come all the way down to ground level. It comes probably about 20 to 30 feet down and then seems to end abruptly.
I jump up there.
Okay.
My fucking double jump cloak.
All right. Yeah, you sort of fix yourself to the wall, or I should say the stalk near the tracks. And as you're looking at them and kind of piecing together what could have happened, you realize, like, your best guess is that whatever this thing, now that you're up here getting a better look at it, is fucking huge, because it almost like wraps around the base of this thing, which itself is like about 40 feet around. And whatever it is, it descended from the cap on top, seemed to have moved along the bottom, came about halfway down, and then left the stalk, right? And you like glance out and you're not sure where it like, you like look to the ground and you don't see where it landed necessarily, but you could see that it made it like halfway down this, and then just like you can actually, as you're looking closer, see almost like a slight bend as if it pushed itself off out onto the path.
I don't think I understand what you've said.
Okay, so essentially it like crawled down, seemed to have like wrapped itself around this at least once. The tracks stop in a way that suggests that it like vaulted off of the stalk sideways
Okay, okay.
and landed on the path, although you don't see the marks on the path.
So it just left. It just left.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't see any other indications on other stalks, do I?
No, not that you can see in this particular clearing.
Okay. I will climb down with my climb speed.
Mhm.
And say, it was up there, and then left and did not touch the ground.
Right at the moment that we seem to run out of arrows. Ambush, perhaps?
I think so.
Do we think it's watching us right now?
Any chance of figuring that out?
Give me anybody who wants to like do a perception check can do that.
I will
Just
give guidance to Beacon.
Oh, thank you.
Guidance to me. Oh wait, that's persuasion. Sorry. My perception's 1 less. So 8.
all right. So with a those, let's see, the 26, 25. Sev, you don't think so. But at least probably not. You're not super sure. Yeah. Beacon and Zadicus. No, nothing big is watching you, but you note what seemed to be like, as you're kind of just keeping your feelers out and like looking around and just full on head on a swivel, back a ways up the path from where you are, you notice what almost looks like a patch of like fungi or some kind of mold that was actually hard to see stops moving very conspicuously as your head swivels towards it. And moreover, with the perceptions you rolled, you could tell it's not one big thing. Whatever that thing is several smaller things.
Regardless, I'm going to snap out the chain of my weird weapon and use my grasping tattoo to try to snag something out from under there.
Okay. Yeah, let me
Ignore the goopy nature of that description.
Let me grab these tokens. The tokens are a bit mauled, it's true. Let me gather you all up.
I'm going to take this opportunity to use my helm to cast Comprehend Languages.
Mm-hmm. You are all at full health, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
It took us days to get here.
Yeah, you've had multiple rests. Feel free to array yourself however you choose. Okay, so Beacon, you whip out this like tendril, which seems to snake into the ground, and you rip something out of its sort of fixed place on the ground, and you see this. And let's roll initiative, though you all will be getting a surprise round on this particular thing. It is profoundly surprised.
Takes 9 points of force damage.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. I need to clear out initiative. There.
Damn.
9 points of force damage. Yeah, you all see what looks like a
22.
sort of pile of like mold
Ted.
given life that, as it is yanked from the ground, opens up its mouth into like a facsimile of a maw filled with needle-like teeth and lets out a high-pitched, like, shrill whine. Holy shit, Ted.
Yeah. Apparently forgetting to click my token let me get the correct number back in there.
All right. Everybody roll me your... I should say we'll go through in order in a second. Hang on. So, yeah, you all get a surprise round on this thing, which is shrieking as it is like disconnected momentarily from the ground. You see it's kind of upside down, and you see these like sort of mossy tendrils are trying to reconnect themselves to the ground and like root themselves, because Beacon has just full on ripped it out of the ground and yanked it across. Yeah, Zadicus.
Oh, so much for having a conversation, I think. I will use bonus action to summon the whip to my hand. And just take a this is gross. Oop, ignore the bless.
Yep, that'll hit and change.
Just grab it. I will use the Fog Taker's Heart to forego damage and just grab it with the whip.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is choking you, but you speak with your brain. You don't need to be able to breathe to speak. Well, I don't know. Is it choking you? I don't know what's going on. But,
it shrieks mindlessly and continues shrieking mindlessly. Now it's like scrabbling at like a lasso that's sort of been lassoed around its head.
Okay, well that answers that question.
It continues to shriek mindlessly.
Can I drag it back? Like, I don't know if it's like considered grappled or not. If I could just step back a bit and drag it in.
It is grappled by me.
Yeah, it's already grappled.
Then I will stay put.
Constance.
I will attempt to reach out telepathically to this thing and just say, please tell us where the Duke is so we don't have to kill you.
You get back whatever this thing is, it doesn't have that kind of higher order intelligence.
Gotcha.
It just is like, what you really get back is that it's like the confusion of a predator that has been turned into prey.
I just say out loud, oh, it won't be able to tell us anything.
Is that your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Sev. You muted, June.
While Constance was communicating telepathically, Sev was screwing something into her gauntlet and just point and says, "Hey, cover your ears," and will cast a shatter with the canister launching from her gauntlet and exploding on impact.
Where does it hit?
It hits like right behind it, so as to not hurt any of us.
Let me see how big shatter is.
It's 15 feet, right? Or 10-foot radius. So that would be like here.
Okay. As you do that, you see two like shapes hidden on the ground writhe and shriek as the sound blast seems to catch them. And one saves, the other does not. All right. So
Alright, now we're getting somewhere.
the one in front of you is looking completely devastated.
That'll be my turn.
Okay. All right. Beacon.
We're going to attack this one.
Yep, you would just eviscerate it.
Yep.
Straight across like what
huge
is its head.
Yeah, like an uppercut and just kind of bisect the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1, 2, and attack the other one as well, or the second, the one below. Oof.
That'll hit.
All right. And that will be our turn.
Okay, ducks.
All right. Ducks will move forward. Bonus action, Misty Step behind these guys. And then I will just attack the one to my left. 17.
That'll hit.
For 5 damage, and ooh, no hit.
That will miss.
That's it.
Okay.
Oh shit! I just remembered I have a bonus action attack now because of the.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're good.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
fine.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We need to remember.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't hit often.
Yeah. Okay. Zedekis.
He looks down at the whip, which is no longer holding anything.
Yeah.
15, and I'll whip that one.
Mm-hmm.
Not getting too close. These things are. 19?
Yep.
Oh, right. I'm clicking through.
Yeah.
So 17. Thanks, ducks.
Its maw opens towards you with a shriek, and you, with just clinical precision, just whip the whip across and bisect the top of its head and see a very faint, like, sort of brain shape just get bisected in half and slide as it crumples to the ground. It is definitely dead. All right. You got a bonus action?
Oh, right. Yes.
I remember.
I will help ducks with the other one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, ducks, give me a perception check. Oh, bless. Dux, you are focusing on the one in front of you, and from behind emerge. Let's see. 3 shapes as they sort of swarm their way along the ground. And they're all going to just jump up and try to maul your back, Dux.
Bring it on.
Got a nat 1, good start. Okay, 22, much better. Give me a strength saving throw. Yeah. You take 5 piercing damage as it sort of scrapes its needle-like teeth into your shoulder. Third one's going to attack. I'll miss. The one that's in front of you whips around to dig its teeth into you for a 17. Which, yeah. Give me another strength saving throw. Ooh. Yep, you shake it off, but this time you take 10 piercing damage as it catches you pretty good in the shoulder. And it seems to try to, like, both of these now have tried to wrap themselves around you and try to pull you to your knees. But they have failed to do so as you've just pushed through it and stayed standing. Constance.
Constance will move up a touch. I will use my bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon, which is just the same tentacle-looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And let's put that down here.
Awesome.
Aim at that.
That'll
fool.
definitely hit.
Oh, that's strange. There we go. Yeah. And to fool up top here, I will try and toll the dead.
The toll of the dead giveth, and the toll of the dead taketh away.
Sometimes it's rough.
It does fail. That one has rolled a nat 1 fucking twice. Okay. That's a it's a grim harbinger.
And yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. Sev.
All right. Sev is going to come over here and got this one left.
Mm-hmm.
Attempt to get.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Oof. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Took you a second to calibrate. Third one hit.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's turn.
Okay. Beacon, you are up. Dux is surrounded by swarming bad moss with teeth.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm. He can handle it.
He can handle it. We can handle it.
I mean, Dux doesn't seem to mind. He's having a great time.
Target this one first.
Yep. That is the most hurt.
Christ.
Just barely miss.
All right. Then this one. Actually, no. I'm going to try to hit the top one again.
That will hit.
God fucking hell. Someone's dead, right?
Nope. Close, though.
Shit. Yep.
It-
Okay, that's it.
It's taken way more damage than any of the others, but
Yeah, that's fine. That's it.
okay. Ducks.
Okay, Dux is going to check and see if he has anything that can hit a bunch of people. I don't think so.
Paladins
You're a paladin.
have some AoE.
Not this one. I'm gonna do a Thunderous Smite, first level, and I'm gonna attack the one below me.
Okay. There's one below you that took some damage from Constance's weapon. Just so you know the difference between the three of them.
Gotcha. Well,
That will definitely hit.
then I said Thunderous Smite.
Mhm.
So Strength save 15. Well, they take the extra 7,
Uh-huh.
and then Strength save or be pushed 10 feet away from me and knocked prone.
Yep, with an enormous fucking boom, you throw this thing away from you as it goes sliding. And it's hard to tell if it's prone, but it definitely seems to be scrabbling for purchase.
Yeah. And then I'll attack the other one that's diagonally below me.
Mhm.
13.
That'll hit.
Oh, okay. I'll throw a first level smite on it.
Okay, you fry it with radiant energy. What does I don't know if I've asked before, but what does your smite look like? Is it just a wholly light, or
Whenever it's just a divine smite, I think it's just like a bluish greenish radiance.
Cool? Gotcha. Yeah, this thing here, it burns apart, shrieking as these little bits of bluish radiance lick at it and just immolate it.
All right, and that's it for my turn.
Zadicus. The one above Dux is far and away the most hurt, though the one Dux is just thrown away is also pretty hurt now. You are muted, by the way.
Oh, god damn
But
it.
I saw you ping, yeah.
Zadicus is like, no, I got this one. No, not gonna swing. Okay, this time you've got it. No, I'll get it. It's fine. And I will swing on the one that is above Dux.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Or
Yep.
14.
Easy, same sort of surgical precision. You just whip it across mid head level and just bisect whatever passes for its brain as it kind of crumples back into this brownish mold.
All right, well that smells extremely weird, and I will bring the whip around, just trying to keep this one busy. All right, Beacon, you've got this.
Yeah, you're doing a whip trick just in the air. Just drawing out a figure 8 over and over again.
Being distracted. Trying to lure, not lure him, guide him back towards.
Okay. The 2 remaining are going to bite at you, Dux. For a miss and a miss. They both try to chomp onto your shoulder and sort of grapple you, and you've got the measure of them now. Even better, you only got them on one side of you. You effortlessly just bat them out of the way with the haft of your glaive. Or your halberd, rather. Constant.
All right. I will move my tentacle up here and at that fella. Awesome.
Oh, that's new.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to. I'm beta testing their mobile app, and it's still a piece of garbage.
Excellent.
Right.
Error
Although-
evaluating role starting with text.
Yeah, the other thing that's fucking fantastic is it looks like it blanked out all of the items in my actual character sheet, which is fucking fantastic. So,
Like, just viewable from the app or from desktop as well?
no, that's what my desktop app now looks like when I click from there. So,
what the fuck?
Yeah, so I'm super excited about that.
Oh, I do see it. Holy shit.
Yeah, let me see if closing it and opening it'll reload some of that stuff. Nah, it's just fucked. Awesome.
Holy shit. What the fuck?
God.
All right.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, let's see if this works, because this will be my action. Let's see if it fucked with my spells, too. Yeah, awesome.
Are you fucking kidding?
Yeah, so... All right. Well, here's the easy thing. This is... I'm aiming at this one. It's a DC 16. It's already been injured, so...
Yeah.
That's how many it'll take. If it fails to save.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
It fails. And your spiritual weapon then.
Right. It's going to hit the same thing. And that's just a spell attack, so... That's that.
7 plus
5.
So just... Let me make sure. Yeah, just missed.
All right. Cool beans.
Fuck. Okay. I'll try to help fix that. Tomorrow, probably.
Yeah.
Fuck me. That is so dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I've never seen something like this before. I'm curious, like, if it borked all of your spells. Okay, just setting that aside for now. Sev. Both, well, this one down here is by far the most hurt.
Sev is going to... gonna bang on her gauntlet and say, "God damn it!" We're not the more wounded one. Does that populate?
Plink! Right in the head.
Ooh.
With a
Dead?
thunk. Yep.
Alright. She's gonna pivot to the other one and unleash the other two.
It just ka-chunks and, like, instead of going forward,
My life in
the
a
like
nutshell.
the rail goes like halfway down and just deposits it onto the ground. The third one hit.
Wonderful.
Yep. Okay. Is that your turn?
Sev is gonna move up. I'm gonna move up there. That's turn.
Okay, Beacon. There's one remaining.
Yep. Let's see if we can manage. Oh my god.
Not quite.
Hey.
Yeah, don't forget to take another one. It's not gonna quite kill it.
Yeah, I'm just okay. I'm just stunned by the damage on
Yeah.
that one as well. Oh
It's,
my god! What the hell?
I don't know what this particular set of maneuvers looks like, but I think you just really
Oh my
overcomplicate
god.
it.
I think Dux being between the two of us is very confusing for some reason. I have oh my god.
You
I have
almost
no
like
excuse.
bisect the back half of it, but then you try to whip it around again, and one of you's like, because you realize you almost kick Dux at the knees.
Ugh. We don't apologize.
Dux.
All right. Well, after narrowly avoiding that glaive, Dux will just, attack like Dux does.
Mm-hmm.
5.
Yeah, Dux stuff.
Then 9.
Yep, that will be just enough. You
Alright.
cleave up and then just cleave straight down. Basically slicing it right in half.
Easy peasy.
And the last of them goes down.
Well, that was easy. But these aren't the Duke, right? Oh, maybe he's the Duke of these little things.
I mean, they don't speak, and Constance didn't seem to think there was much up there, and he taps his head. Well, I suppose they could have a language, but meh.
No, it seemed quite clear to me that they would not be able to communicate. Which makes it very unlikely that any of them were the Duke.
Though they still be subjects.
Yes, very possible.
Mm-hmm. Well, do we have any more tracks for our scouting parties to follow? It doesn't look like we do. It looks like we're out of arrows.
So they're not on this map, but you do see the orange set of arrows continues on.
Oh, never mind. There's one right there glowing right at me.
And do you all continue along the path of the orange arrows?
Yeah, absolutely.
I will
Okay.
continue my air quotes scouting 30 feet ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Keep a sharp eye out, Zadicus, and I will cast guidance on him.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll that guidance. See what you get. Yeah, you're like
Pushes me over that 20 mark, though.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you've got the hang of this, Zadicus. The texture of the ground kind of threw you off because it's a little bit bouncy. It's making you kind of not as quiet as you like. Hard to go heel toe when there's a little bit of give. But you think you got the measure of it now. So you are scouting ahead pretty silent like. And there are a couple times over the next 3 to 4 hours where you note the sort of off in the distance before anybody else can see them because they don't see you, other forms of carnivorous plant. So you note layered across the path at one point. As you're about to step down, you look down and realize that there is an enormous flower that is blended to look like the ground of the path. And it's not until you see to the left and right with the faint outline of teeth that you realize this is like an enormous Venus flytrap. And you draw your foot back very carefully.
That would have been bad. Everybody, watch out. Drop a bit of jerk in here. Let it close. No one will know.
So yeah, you lead them around, and still another. At this point, you've been traveling around 7 hours into this forest. You don't yet see an end to the orange arrows. They seem to continue further in. So about, let's say, like 7-8 hours, you report back having navigated around. This time it was the stalk of a particular mushroom on one side of the path. You caught it very faintly moving, and as you froze, it slowly grew 2 legs and began to walk its way off into the distance. You return to relay this, and yeah, do you all decide to keep going, or do you try to find a place to spend the night? It's hard because it isn't really nighttime, but it's getting around the time when you would potentially go to sleep. Or start thinking about it, at least.
Well, on the plus side, watches wouldn't have to worry about the dark. On the other side, it'd be damn hard to sleep with all this light.
Yeah, we can take a rest.
I mean, I'm all for pushing on, if that's what we want to do.
So we've been walking for 7-ish hours.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we were on the ground before that for what, a couple of hours?
Mm-hmm. Probably only about an hour or two.
Okay. Well, it does seem early to rest. But there's no way of knowing whether we'll have an opportunity further in.
Good point. I mean, I'm feeling fine. I can stay up if the rest of you would like to take a break, catch your breath.
I'm feeling fine as well.
Whatever it is. You all. Dux, you feeling good? Need a break?
Oh, I'm doing fine.
Oh, it sounds like we should push on then.
All right. You push on deeper into the forest. Another hour, 2 hours. Zedicus, you're still ranging a little ways ahead. And you see it before anybody else, Zedicus, around 2.5 hours into the remainder of this journey. You are sort of just, there's a monotonous rhythm to take a few steps, see the orange, take a few steps, see the orange, look at the ground, look at the trees, sort of just a rhythm to the travel. And you note as you take a couple steps that there is not another orange arrow.
There. And it stops. And I'll just walk out right onto the path at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is where it stops. Here. Do we can keep going in, look for signs of an ambush spread out here, look for what might be left of our erstwhile search parties.
I look up again.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep. Beacon, give me a survival check with advantage.
Okay.
Okay. So you this time do not see any markings around here, but when you look down, you see the very faint, like almost regrowing remnants of footpath traffic for the first time, and it is leading off a little ways to the left. And as you follow it for a second and glance through a few of the trees, you see a clearing about 50 feet off.
We point.
Constance will start walking over there.
Mm-hmm.
Careful, Constance. I've heard terrible things about clearings of mushrooms. Very dangerous. End up somewhere horrible. I follow Constance.
Yep. You all travel out into the center of this clearing. It's odd because this is the first sort of it. Now that you're looking at it, it doesn't seem particularly natural. And that there clearly have been trees that were cleared from the center of this by something. And you see, like around the edge of it are, the standard like thick copse of these fungi stalk rising into the sky. Other than that, the ground doesn't seem to have anything on it. It seems to be fairly ordinary, at least as far as a clearing in a fungi forest goes.
Zadicus, are we now someplace horrible?
Unfortunately, I think we're still on Gork, Constance.
So we're just in the same horrible place.
True.
Well, seems odd that there would be a clearing this far in. And Beacon, did you mention seeing something about, or seeing some foot traffic?
Yes, there was some reclaimed footpath. The first we've seen in some time.
I wonder if that's from the search party.
It would only make sense.
I'm gonna look around for any remnants of a search party.
All right.
I'll give you help if I can.
Yeah. Give me a perception or investigation.
All right.
Nice.
Okay. Constance, you are looking around for signs of anything. And you feel a very weird tickling sensation in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because you kind of, have just sort of had the gates open scanning for stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just, do I hear anything? Do I hear anything?
Mm-hmm.
You get a very strong feeling of, I'll move you all to a map. Let's see, and there on this map. You feel a presence up on top of one of the stalks in front of you, which seems to acknowledge you. You feel this, like almost like a spotlight turn to focus on you for a moment, although you can't see anything there yet.
Right.
And at this point, everybody in your head in the language, if you can speak it, although you understand the words as well, is deep speech and abyssal.
Mhm. Well, just to make this a little easier, as soon as I sense a presence, I'm going to use an action to activate the helm.
Yep.
So that I can comprehend language.
Yep. You all hear the voice, but Constance, you hear it very specifically.
Mhm.
It feels as though it is addressing you.
Mhm.
And it says, "Emissary of the one below the sea beyond. That is you, yes?"
Hello.
"Hello. Welcome to my court."
Am I speaking with the Duke?
"Indeed you do. I claim dukeship of this fiefdom. I am an emissary for the queen of all fungi, the ruler of this world and countless beyond. Why is it that you have come to my lands?"
We were asked to come here.
"By my subjects?"
I do not know whom your subjects are.
"All who live in my fiefdom."
Not all that live here agree with that.
It seems to consider for a moment. "Have you come to establish diplomatic relations? Where is the gift you present?"
We have come to engage in conversation. Perhaps you could come down so that we may all introduce ourselves.
"Not yet, I believe. You will understand I will keep the element of surprise to myself, should things devolve to blows."
As you can understand that I cannot allow that. And I'm now just speaking out loud.
"Do I have your word as emissary?"
My word that we would like to engage in discussion? Yes.
"That you will not ambush me as soon as I reveal myself?"
We will not ambush you as soon as you reveal yourself. You have my word.
"That you will not ambush me thereafter?"
We will not ambush you. You have my word.
"May I also have your word that if fighting should be necessary, it will be an honorable sort? I will warn you, you will warn me. No surprises."
Agreed.
Yeah. Essentially floating down from the top, kind of writhing through the air, you see it appear as this eye in the center of it seems to form out of the like writhing mass that makes up the rest of it. And it is looking at you very specifically, Constant.
Hello, Duke.
"Hello. What is your name, young emissary?"
I am Constance.
Constance.
These are my friends, and I'll introduce everybody.
"This is your retinue? Are they your subjects?"
No, I have no subjects.
What of your master?
It has no subjects either. We work in concert.
Interesting. Do you have a gift for me to begin diplomatic relations?
I do have a gift for you. It's in the form of advice. The advice is, working in concert with creatures is much more effective than attempting to make them your subjects.
What do you mean?
Subjects, sooner or later, will always want to rebel.
That may be true, but it is the responsibility of the Duke to put them in their place, should that happen.
I understand. And I'm sure you're quite effective. But are you 100% effective? I think not. Eventually, rebels always succeed. If you work in concert with creatures, come to agreements and arrangements, it is much more likely that you and yours will have a long-lasting existence.
This is how your master rules.
I'm afraid you have a fundamental misunderstanding. I have no master. I am one with the effort.
The effort. You refer to the one below.
Yes. We are both singular and a unity.
I will and would establish diplomatic relations with you and the effort, but I will not bow to the people of my fiefdom. I have been given this to rule. It is my responsibility to do so.
Well, we believe you have been given what is not yours by someone with no authority to give it.
I would ask that you not speak ill of the mother, the queen. She is the rightful ruler of this world.
I understand that's her position, but it is not the position of the creatures on this world.
Perhaps then negotiations are at an end, yes?
I'm perfectly happy to continue negotiations.
You ask of me that which I cannot give.
Very well. But to be clear, you can give it you're unwilling to give it. Those are two different things.
I, then, yes, will not allow an infringement such as this to my domain to stand unchecked. So it is only right, as we agreed, that I warn you thusly. Prepare yourselves, for I come now.
Wonderful. And I'll turn to the rest of the party. Negotiations are over, and we will begin combat.
And that is where we'll end session.
Sweet.
That thing's fucking weird.
I recognize the art for it. Which is embarrassing.
Can't wait for it to hand our asses to us.
Yeah. I got a feeling it's going to be a bit of a mess.
Yeah, we will see what happens with that on the 29th. Because we got 2 weeks of last rites.
All right.
29. Oh, okay. So not 2 weeks because next Monday is 15th, that'll be good. But the
22nd.
No, the weekend of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is 5th?
Yeah, it's
25th.
Thursday.
Friday through that Monday. So the 29th gonna be or that's
You're gonna be what?
absent for the
Okay. So yeah, I'll unfortunately be gone the 22nd because I will probably be. Actually, yeah, I'll be in Arizona, luckily. But then,
so next week are good for me.
yeah, next week I'm good. I'm good to play. The week after I'll be gone. I would say I'll plan to do mine on the 6th, if that's okay. We'll just skip the week after. I know I'll be in a recovering and writing for stuff, so we can potentially on that Monday, if anybody wants to, like, I don't know, hang out or anything.